Good afternoon, everyone Jones, and today we're going to be talking about the Parker Soft Head. Now the Parker Soft Head is going to be the only authorized soft head to be used in the southeastern region, South Atlantic. Real quick, the way it works is any turtles or anything you don't want caught in your cod in is going to enter through the front of this net. The orange netting you see is actually going to be the Ted. Once the turtle travels back through, it's going to come out this top escape opening, as you see back here. All right, and now the first step you want to do is to ensure that it's a top shooting Ted. All right, so that's going to be the only authorized configuration for a soft head. So you want to ensure that this opening here is on the top, and as you notice, the seam is sewn on the top of the net as well. So that's another good way to tell. All right, so when measuring these soft heads, you're going to have to keep in mind two mesh measurements. All right, the first measurement we're going to talk about is the side panel net mesh measurement. You're going to measure it with the flow of the net, knot to knot. All right, on the side panel, you're going to look for 4 inches. All right, as you see there, that's 4 inches. Next mesh measurement, we're going to move to the orange Ted net. All right, so same way, knot to knot with the flow of the net. You're going to look for 8 inches, just like that. All right, I'm on to step 2. So on step 2, you're going to ensure that the leading edge of the Ted, which is once again the orange netting, is sewn in a straight line all the way across. And as well as being a straight line, it needs to be 36 meshes. So how you're going to count that is knot to knot. So first knot to second knot, that's going to be 1 mesh. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on until you reach this other corner over here, all the way to the other corner, and you need at least 36 meshes. All right, so the next step, we're going to be measuring the leading edge of the side panel. You're going to have 1 on each side sewn into the Ted. The way you're going to look at this, you're going to need 8 meshes. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All right, and here is a picture of what the meshes should look like. You should have 8 meshes of your 4-inch, then 36 meshes of your 8-inch, which is the orange one, and then another 8 meshes of your 4-inch.
In our next step, we're going to count the meshes of the Ted here along both sides. So we're going to make sure that we have 36 meshes, just as we did across the leading edge, in order to make sure that the Ted is sewn in a perfect triangle into the net, so it's not moved to the port or starboard side more than it should be. So we're going to count those out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on up to the apex of the net, ensuring that we have 36 meshes on both sides.
All right, here on the next step, we're going to be focusing on the side panel here. All right, what we're going to be measuring is the bars on the inside and on the outside. So what a bar is the distance between knot to knot. So this would be 1 bar right here. So on the inside here, we're going to need 72 bars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, all the way back to the apex of where it's sewn in. You're going to need 72 bars. On the top of the side panel, same thing, but we're going to count 89 bars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, all the way back to the same spot, the apex, and you're going to need 89 bars.
Again, here is a picture that'll show you your 36 bar, your 72 bar, and your 89 bar measurements.
Our next step is going to be ensuring that the net is sewn in all the way around. That's the Ted and the side panels. You're going to look for this heavy twine. In this example here, we have a light green color so that you can see it clearly. And you're just going to ensure that everything is sewn in all the way around without any gaps for the sea turtles to get caught up in. So just go around the entire perimeter of the triangle, ensuring that it's all sewed in without any gaps.
All right, our next step is going to be measuring from the tip of the side panel here all the way back to the apex back here. And that's going to need to measure 14 to 16 feet.
Our next step is going to be to inspect the opening. So after the turtle comes through the TED, this is a top shooting mechanism as we talked about earlier, and you have a couple of measurements that you want to look at. So this being an inshore TED, we're going to have at least a 56-inch vertical opening that you see here, allowing the sea turtle to escape through the top of the net. If this were an offshore configuration, you would have a horizontal cut forward of what you see here of 96 inches. It may also have a protector flap going over the top that would keep this closed until the sea turtle moved through.
All right, so that's how you measure a Parker soft TED. If you have any questions in the future, feel free to reach out to us here at SurfTech, or you can always visit our SharePoint page and look at our additional resources on there for any additional information.